You've seen the image. It went round the world. A tiny baby plucked from raging floodwaters, bundled into a black bag and winched to safety. It was incredible, but what's never been told, what the world doesn't know, is the full story of what took place that day and the day before. How a tiny chopper and its plucky crew from Rockhampton saved life after life against all the odds. Tonight, the unseen footage, the survivors, the heroes, baby Luke, and a wonderful reunion. Here's PJ Madam with the little chopper that could.
We got a call in the morning, there were people stranded, and there was 8 people on the tops of their vehicles, and some were very close to losing their lives.
The day before Australia Day, southwest of Rockhampton, 3 men in one tiny chopper responsible for saving multiple lives.
Fire and rescue, what's the location of the emergency?
All right, so you're in... The emergency is that we're in the middle of the floodwaters.
Are you safe?
I don't know, the water's up to our waist at the moment. The water's getting deeper.
Down in that muck are Nancy and Bob Essex, married for 58 years. They'd soon be separated by the flash flood.
Suddenly this wall of dirty, muddy water just came out of the paddocks, seemingly, and took us. And we had no control.
On their way, Capricorn 300 was flying fast and low.
It's called scud running, where we're flying as low as possible.
The Dawson Highway was now underwater. Nancy and Bob's car out of control.
Spun around, the boot lid flew open.
And that's when I hopped out and ran around and shut the lid and got swept to a little tree, hung onto that.
From the tree, 80-year-old Bob swam to the railway track. That's him there. Nancy is still in the car, which by now is almost submerged.
As the water was getting up and up and up, and it was up to my neck, I thought, well, I've got to get the car door open somehow. And somehow or other I opened that door, and I don't know how. I just thought, I'm not going to die. I'm just not going to drown because I can't swim. I thought, I've got to do something.
She's 80 years old, and she was hanging on in that door frame for hours. I
really, at that stage, didn't know how much longer I'd be able to hang on.
Above, Garth Snedero, a 39-year-old ex-commando, is carefully winched down. When
I got on the car and started to approach her, she let go with one hand. My heart skipped a beat because I thought I might have lost her.
Garth thought you were a goner.
Did he? He didn't know me.
And then, as husband Bob watches from the railway below, Nancy, bedraggled but happy, is hauled into Capricorn 300.
It really didn't set in until after the fellow winched me up into the helicopter. Then I started to shake. Made me think, gosh, I could have been a goner.
With Bob relatively safe on high ground, the calls keep coming.
There's 6 people! 6! We're gonna have to come back! All the vehicle!
Time and time again, the little chopper that could, did. Rescue after rescue after rescue.
2 more!
Life after life saved.
In the end, I didn't have enough seats and seat belts to put people in, so I was just pushing them into the aircraft on the floor as far as away from the door as I could.
And then it was time for Bob.
It was good to see him coming back. Ed pulled me up, got an extra ride in the helicopter.
The 3-man crew saved 8 lives that day, but the next day, Australia Day, would make world news. Robin Colley, her 14-month-old son Luke, and her friend Donna were driving to pick up nappies when they were hit by a flash flood.
Holy dooly, this is really happening. And then it was just get Luke out.
The baby would have been beside itself, petrified.
But pulling up a baby posed a big problem, as Garth, a father of 2 young boys, knew all too well.
Because they're wet and slippery and they don't, listen to, instructions. Obviously at 14 months, my kids don't, so I don't expect, somebody else's child, me hanging underneath a helicopter with a funny looking helmet on to listen to a word I say.
Did you realise how dangerous it was for them?
Absolutely.
Garth had come prepared, a big bag for the little boy.
We seen him open up the bag. He said, now the baby needs to go in the bag. So we stuffed him in there and Garth zipped it up, and as much as it hurt and it was a bit scary to put him in there, you know that he's going somewhere safer.
This is the bag here that I used, and I stood inside the bag and grabbed both straps either side and pulled as hard as I could, and then it was get up, get him back to, back into the aircraft, into, the paramedics' arms. And then go back down and get his mum and the other lady.
Donna is pulled up next, relieved but very shaken. Then, Garth returned to fetch Robin. He and his team saved 2 children that day. Robin is pregnant with her 2nd child.
All they were worried about was our safety and if we were okay.
Robin and Luke, though, will say that you saved their lives.
Yeah. I didn't just save their lives, Just give me a sec, Dad. We saved their lives. Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that, yeah, they won through me. Thanks.
It's an extraordinary job.
It's a fulfilling job when everything works well. It is very,
Well, Luke's going to have a hell of a 21st birthday story to tell.
Yeah, well, I'd like to have a beer with him for his 21st, absolutely, Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, the reunion came a little bit sooner.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
You too.
4 days ago, Robin and Luke got to meet the man who rescued them. Garth came with an appropriate gift, and Luke couldn't wait to see it fly.
Welcome to Outback Australia.
4 mates
This is probably the best moment of my life.
with a unique bond.
All of us have a different disability level.
Their gutsy road trip,
This is where it happened. This is where my life changed.
the love,
I now pronounce you husband and wife.
the pain,
We're not going to make it.
and their bravery.
I didn't know the Outback was wheelchair accessible.
A hell of an adventure.